The quiet rustling of leaves to the birth of stars, one truth echoes through it all: this world is not random. Every pattern, every structure, every breath of life feels like part of a story written with intention. Whether it's the symmetry in a snowflake, the Fibonacci spiral in a sunflower, or the precise chemical balance that allows our hearts to beat, everything seems to follow a deeper set of rules, a hidden logic. Is that just a trick of the mind? Or is there something more profound behind the curtain? Every pattern, every structure, every breath of life feels like part of a story written with intention. Whether it's the symmetry in a snowflake, the Fibonacci spiral in a sunflower, or the precise chemical balance that allows our hearts to beat, everything seems to follow a deeper set of rules, a hidden logic. Is that just a trick of the mind? Or is there something more profound behind the curtain? Every pattern, every structure, every breath of life feels like part of a story written with intention. Whether it's the symmetry in a snowflake, the Fibonacci spiral in a sunflower, or the precise chemical balance that allows our hearts to beat, everything seems to follow a deeper set of rules, a hidden logic. Is that just a trick of the mind? Or is there something more profound behind the curtain? And nowhere is that sense of authorship more obvious than in the structure of DNA. DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, is often described as the blueprint of life, but that metaphor barely scratches the surface. It is a biological code, a language composed of 4 base pairs: adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine, arranged in sequences that resemble the logic of computer programs. Except unlike software written by humans, this code is self-replicating, self-healing, and astonishingly efficient. It doesn't just instruct how to build a human or a tree or a bacterium, it adapts, optimizes, and evolves across generations. If you found a USB stick in the forest containing a perfectly functioning, self-updating operating system, you would never assume it occurred by chance. Yet we treat DNA, the most powerful information system known, as a product of randomness. If DNA is software, then the question follows naturally: who wrote the code? Who is the programmer behind the cell? As we pull back and look at the cosmos, the mystery deepens. The universe appears fine-tuned for life, not just on Earth, but in the very structure of reality. Constants like the gravitational force, the electromagnetic charge, and the expansion rate of the universe are set to precise values. Adjust them by a fraction and the cosmos would either collapse or expand into lifeless gas. This precision is not theoretical, it is measurable. The odds of these constants aligning by chance is statistically close to zero. It suggests that the universe was calibrated, like a machine built to function within very specific parameters. And again, when humans see fine-tuned machines, they assume an engineer. So why not the same for the cosmos? Many scientists wrestle with this question. To avoid the implications of design, they propose alternate explanations, infinite multiverses, each with random settings, or that we're living in a simulated reality, coded by a more advanced intelligence. But even those ideas admit something foundational: there is structure. There is order. There is a system. And systems imply rules. Rules imply logic. Logic implies mind. This doesn't mean traditional creation myths are literally correct, but it does raise the possibility that the deepest truths of our universe are not chaotic but intelligent. Some turn to evolution to explain life's complexity. And natural selection is indeed a powerful mechanism for change. But even evolution presumes a functioning system to begin with. Darwinian theory explains the diversification of life, it does not explain the origin of life. It cannot account for how the first cell emerged from non-life. It cannot explain how a precise arrangement of molecules suddenly began copying itself, maintaining its structure, and resisting entropy. formation of just one functional protein, with all amino acids in the correct sequence, is astronomically improbable by chance alone. The first cell required not one, but hundreds of such proteins operating together in coordinated cycles. Similarly, chemistry alone does not account for the jump from matter to meaning, from molecules to memory. Across civilizations, belief in a higher power has emerged independently. From tribal shamans to modern theologians, from ancient Sumerians to quantum physicists, the intuition that life is intentional never truly fades. It adapts, it evolves, but it persists. Today, as technology accelerates, that belief has transformed into something more digital, the simulation hypothesis. It proposes that we live in a computer-generated reality, authored by a civilization beyond our comprehension. Not unlike how we create video game worlds populated by artificial intelligence. This model reimagines God not as a bearded man in the sky, but as the coder of existence. And while it may sound like science fiction, it is taken seriously by many leading minds, Elon Musk, Nick Bostrom, and others, because the evidence of system design in physics, biology, and consciousness keeps piling up. But perhaps the terms don't matter. Whether we say God or programmer, the insight is the same: something lies behind the curtain. Something intelligent. Something aware. In 2010, a landmark event occurred. Craig Venter's lab created a synthetic cell by inserting computer-designed DNA into a bacterial chassis. The media hailed it as the creation of life. But in truth, it was editing, not creation. They didn't build a cell from scratch. They took an existing biological system and replaced the software. They hacked the machine, they didn't invent the machine. This distinction is crucial. It shows us that life can be rewritten. But we still don't know who wrote it first. The more we learn, the more biology begins to look like code, modular, layered, error-resistant. Cells operate like factories. Proteins act like robotic arms assembling and disassembling molecular parts. Genes are regulatory modules that switch on and off. The body is a system of systems. And no system this advanced builds itself by mistake. It must be architected. So what does this mean for us? If DNA is code, and the universe is tuned, then your existence is not meaningless. You are not a cosmic accident. You are a part of an authored reality, perhaps a story with purpose. A line in a poem. A function in a program. A sentence in a script. This isn't a rejection of science. It's the fulfillment of science. The more we study, the more we realize that behind every formula is a question, and behind every question is the whisper of mind. When we gaze at the stars, hold a newborn, or wrestle with our place in the universe, we're not just curious, we're remembering. Remembering that something beyond logic speaks to the human soul. The desire for meaning, the hunger for truth, the ache for connection, they are not flaws in our design. They are features, signals, clues. No theory can explain everything. But the evidence is mounting. DNA is not random. Consciousness is not emergent noise. The universe is not indifferent. And your life is not irrelevant. You are part of something. Something vast. Something intelligent. Something that may one day reveal its face, or perhaps already has, in the code, in the cosmos, in you. And that something may be the author of all things.